Trump's flag burning order draws rare fire from conservatives. Ooh. How we doing? Hope y'all are doing fantastic. That's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the executive order that Trump signed about the burning of the flag. And the Supreme Court ruled that burning the flag was protected by the First Amendment in 1989. And this is coming from Fox News. So those of you that are haters of Fox News, even Fox News is coming out a little against Trump, so take that as you will. But it's saying that and whatever you feel about this, I think it's wrong, and I don't think they should, and I think they should be punished for it. But there again, it's First Amendment right. And there's a lot of things that go both ways on the First Amendment right. Whatever your thing is on the First Amendment, it's a First Amendment right. They have the right to burn the flag if they want to. I think it's a disgrace, and I think they shouldn't be allowed to, but there again, it's First Amendment, so. President Trump's new executive order targeting flag burning drew rare criticism from conservatives on Monday. See, even his own side don't like that one, and I'm not a big fan of it either. Kind of on the fence on it, but I side with the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court says it's within the First Amendment right. So, sorry, Trump, that's another bad one for you. You've done a lot of good. Trump has done a lot of good, says me, but there's some things he hasn't, and all presidents are like that. No president is all good. I don't care who you are, and I don't care what you say, and I don't care what president you support. If you say that your president that you support did everything right, then you're an idiot. Even Trump, even Biden, even Obama, even Clinton, even Bush, they all screwed up. Every single one of them didn't do everything perfectly. I don't care if you believe that, then you're an idiot. The executive order announced on Monday directs the Attorney General to prosecute violations of laws involving the desecration and to pursue litigation that would clarify the scope of the First Amendment as it relates to the flag desecration. The order additionally directs Attorney General Pam Bondi to refer flag desecration case that violates state and local laws to appropriate local authorities. The order followed months of protest burning American flags at various anti-Israel and anti-ICE demonstrations. Now, I get why everybody's mad about it, and I'm not happy that people are out there burning flags. Again, I don't like the idea. But on that same note, why don't you go to Mexico and go out in the middle of one of their busy streets and busiest cities and start burning one of their flags? See what happens. But they don't have a constitution, so things are different over there than they are here. And that's what I said. I think they could potentially but take that out of the First Amendment, but it's not, so we have to abide by it. And I understand why people are upset about it. I'm kind of, it's kind of a disgrace. You're in our country. You should respect the flag. You should respect the country. You're doing it. You're doing it to prove a point. You're doing it to defy the president. But if you really hate the country that much, leave. Go away. Nobody's making you stay here. That's where I'm at. Nobody's making you stay. If you hate it so much, why are you here? You sneak, and these illegal immigrants, they sneak across our border to get away from their country. Then they try to turn our country into their country. And when we try to put a stop to it, they burn our flags. They hate us. They wave their flag. It's like, if you want to go, if you're so supportive of your country, why don't you go back to it? But they won't. They don't want to go. Hey, I'm not going back there. So you should show a little bit more respect to the country that you snuck into and are trying to be part of. The order followed months of. I already read that. The order follows months of protesting, burning American flags, and Trump faces unusual pushback from the right on social media after signing the order, as conservatives largely defended flag burning as a First Amendment right. Trump flag burning executive order could flip First Amendment on its head with the new court. Banning flag burning is absurd. It's anti-free speech and peak snowflake behavior. I would never burn the American flag because of what it symbolizes to me, but the act of banning the burning of it runs more contrary to Americans' values than the burning itself ever could. Evolutionary biologist Colin Wright wrote, and I'm on that same thing. It's just like I said in another video. It's your right to be gay, to be transsexual, to be whatever it is you want to be. It's your right to do that. You have the absolute right to do that. And I know this might offend some of you, but people also have the right to be racist. I mean, I don't agree with it. Again, I try my hardest not to come off as being racist, because I try not to be. I have I have had over the past lots of non-white friends. My first wife was Mexican. I dated a Puerto Rican. I'm not racist, but people have a right to be. I mean, I know, like I said, that may sound like it's not right. It's not right. Is it? Do I agree with it? No. But is it a right? Kind of. I mean, you have the right to burn the flag. We have the right to not agree with it. You have the right to whatever it is you want to do. These people have the right to be racist if they choose to. I mean, there's nothing you can. I mean, if they start getting violent about it and causing hate crimes, then that's different. But if they just want to be, I hate black people. Okay, cool. You hate black people. You have the right to. You have the right to that. You have the right to that thought and that opinion. But once you start acting on that, and it becomes a hate crime, then, and I think that goes both ways. Like, it goes both ways. You know, the blacks have the right to hate whites. The whites have the right to hate blacks. They have that right. And unfortunately, the left, they don't want, they may say they do, but they don't want racism to go away. They don't want racism. They don't want it. It's just like Zelensky and this war. Zelensky doesn't want this war to end over there. He wants it to keep on going. He wants long-term support. He wants long-term. He wants more money, more weapons, so he can keep this fight going. He's even said it himself. That's what he's talking. I want long-term support, long-term security, long-term. Why? We want to end the war now, not years down the road. But he doesn't want it to end because this war is keeping him in office. He was able to declare martial law to not get voted out of office. I mean, maybe he would have won, but it ended the vote. They didn't vote on a new leader because of the war. And there's a constant money flow coming in. Constant money flow. As long as there's constant money flow coming in, and he's in office, he's going to want this war to keep on going. And that's what he's fighting for. He doesn't want the war to end. And it's just like this. The left, they may say they do, but they don't want racism to end because it gives them it gives them something to run on. It gives them something to campaign on. End racism, end racism. It's hate, but yet if it ends, that takes one more thing that they've got to campaign and to run on away from them, because they don't want it to end. I mean, I say it like I see it. They don't want it to end. I know how to end it, but they don't want it to end. And as long as it's going on and it's getting them votes, they're not going to want it to end. That's all there is to it. Anyway, back to the story. Radio host Jesse Kelly said, "I would never in a million years harm the American flag. But a president telling me I can't has me as close as I'll ever be to lighting one on fire." Well, I still won't light one on fire. "I'm a free American citizen, and if I ever feel like torching one, I will. This is garbage." Yeah, I still won't burn a flag. Even though Trump says I can't, still doesn't mean I'm going to. I respect the flag, and I respect what the people did for that flag, and nobody should. It says me, nobody should, but, how he, and I see why he said that, but a president telling me I can't has me as close as I'll ever be to lighting one on fire. I mean, yeah, I still wouldn't do that. And again, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I do support Trump, and I'm not ever going to go on the left until I'm dead. I'm never going to vote left until I'm dead and somebody votes for me. But I don't agree with everything he does. And this was a dumb thing. I mean, this was a dumb executive order. And he's going to get a lot of pushback, and most likely, if they haven't already, the Supreme Court's going to throw that back in his face and say you can't do that. So it is what it is. And these wars, I'm not buying into these. This Israel thing, I don't buy into that. This Epstein thing, pushing that under the rug, I don't believe it. So there are things I don't agree with that Trump's doing, but for the most part, I think he's doing good with some of the issues that I wanted, but he still needs to drain the swamp. That was one of the big ones that I voted for him for, was to drain the swamp, get rid of the corruption. "Flag burning is vile, but the government has no right to control speech or expression," radio host Dana Loach wrote. Yes, nobody has that. Sorry, my nose itches. It's kind of allergy season, and I got an itchy nose. But it's just like this whole Colin Kaepernick thing. Yeah, he had the right to do that, but that was cancel culture. There, it was everybody. It was everybody. It was the people canceled him for that. It wasn't that the government stepped in, and maybe they did. Think what you want, but it's not because he doesn't have the right to kneel during the national anthem, because you have that right to kneel during the national anthem. But a lot of people, and with flag burning and kneeling, a lot of people find that disrespectful, and they will cancel you for it. I mean, if you care about that, you could definitely be canceled for burning the flag or for kneeling during the national anthem, or but it's your right to do that. It goes right along with that same thing as we're talking about, as what I was talking about earlier. It's okay for you to kneel to the flag. It's okay for you to burn the flag. Or it's not okay, says me, but it's your right to. And it's your right to be racist if you want to. And it goes both sides, I mean, I know one side's going to battle one and the other side's going to battle it. And when you get down to it, it's all about First Amendment. It's the First Amendment. It's just like the Second Amendment. You've got your Second Amendment advocates, and there's certain things on that maybe could, and I don't know, I'm going to get called anti-2A on this one, but there are certain things that I think could be regulated with the Second Amendment. Like, I believe, and this is just me, I believe that they should raise the age to 21 to buy any gun. Any gun, 21. You shouldn't be able to buy a 22, a shotgun, a rifle until you're 21, because you're still a kid at 18. You're still not thinking straight for yourself. You haven't been out in the world on your own at all, let alone long enough to really know what the consequences are. And you still have that childish mentality where accidents can happen. You want to show off your gun. Oh, hey, check out this new gun, and you pull the trigger or whatever, and things happen. You're not fully. I don't believe you're fully right, because you can't buy a handgun at 21. So, or until you're 21. So I think they should raise the age to 21. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate on that one, but it is what it is. But I don't really believe in any other kind of infringements at all. As far as, you shouldn't have to have a permit to carry. There shouldn't really be any gun-free zones unless it's private property. But there shouldn't be any of that. We should be able to carry a gun anywhere, anytime that we want to. And the felon thing, I think certain felonies, if they're not violent felonies, if you just committed bank fraud or something and you do your time and you pay your fines, you do your time, you should be able to get your gun rights back. It wasn't a violent crime. It wasn't with a weapon. It wasn't a domestic violence. It wasn't anything like that. It was, then you should be able to have guns again, at least again at some point. It's like you get even a small felony and nope, you can't ever own a gun again. I don't believe that either. The violent ones, yes. If you're violent, or robbery or armed robbery or anything with a weapon, or yeah, you don't get them anymore. But I think felons should get them. And that's another thing. I could get some strong hate comments for that one too, but it's constitutional rights, and I know nothing matters when you aren't allowed to criticize your own side, but I'd like to return to a time when presidents didn't sign unconstitutional executive orders for show. Red State writer Bonchi wrote. And there's more to it, but it's basically that same kind of thing here. There's veterans disgusted by anti-Israel protest, flag burning, disgrace to America. However, some conservatives defended the executive order, saying that the order text refers only to specific situations involving flag burning. POTUS explained that this is not a blanket ban. This is a commitment to investigate flag burning incidents that occur in a terroristic context. If it is determined the flags were burned in provocation of violence, then criminal sentencing kicks in. It's not a total ban, podcast host Kira Davis wrote. So to save him some face, it's not a total ban, it's just a partial ban. Well, I'm kind of on that with, certain things, just like with the Second Amendment, like I just talked about. There's certain things but still, it's your First Amendment right. It doesn't matter what you're doing. I mean, if you're burning it for some ritual I don't know. I mean, it's your First Amendment right. President Trump's executive order on flag burning is replete with qualifiers that strip it of any discernible meaning. To the fullest extent possible sounds aggressive, but it actually means with the bounds permitted by law. Okay. The bounds permitted by law. Okay. Okay, let's clear it up. I was supposed to be Trump's I was supposed to be Trump's executive order at first, but then I read the full text. It does not criminalize burning the flag, the American flag, and it does not infringe on our freedom of speech. It criminalizes burning only when its intent is to incite violence or when it's accompanied by other lawless actions. Well, it's kind of like there are restrictions to the First Amendment. You know, you can't walk onto a plane or into some place, yell bomb, or you can, I guess, but there are certain things that you still can't say. There are certain things that, and I didn't read the executive order, but it sounds like it doesn't just like you can't burn a flag. Period. End of story. It's kind of like the context of it, but the inciting violence, that's not really, you know, I don't know what I think about that, but it's one of those, I don't believe that really any infringement at all. It's kind of like the Second Amendment. We shouldn't infringe it at all. I mean, yeah, I have my beliefs on it, and I have my beliefs on it that, you know, maybe it's not a bad idea to, if they're doing it to incite something but there again, I don't know. But anyway, that's probably enough. There's a lot more to this article, but even those Fox haters, even Fox is saying, hey, this isn't right, Trump. This is not a good order for you to be signing. A lot of the Republicans are in disagreements on it, but it sounds like the full text of it is maybe not as bad as it sounds, but still, you're trying to infringe on constitutional rights. And even the Supreme Court ruled that burning the flag was protected by the First Amendment. So I side with the Supreme Court. And even at that, the Supreme Court is even predominantly Republican. It's got more Republican seats. So even at that, the Republican Supreme Court finds that it's an unconstitutional, that burning the flag is within their constitutional right. But let's hear some debate on that one. Let's hear some comments. What do you guys think about that? I know that down at the end of the article, it was talking about the certain cases where it's not across the board burning the flag. Let's see your comments. Leave some comments down below. Appreciate y'all. Love you. Do the YouTube stuff if you wouldn't mind. Appreciate it. Like, subscribe, comment. You know the drill. Anyway, appreciate it. Love you. See you in the next one.